Hi everyone and welcome back to Crochet Rocks, and I'm going to show you how I've joined my squares together for my bag. I've got my 13 squares, and this is going to be difficult to show you because it's hard to get the whole thing in. But if I lift this up, so you'll see we've got a pattern, and that is we turn them into diamond shapes, and we have two at the top, which is where the straps attach. And then we have one in between and two more full ones under that. We have a half one here, a half one at the bottom, and a half one at the other side. So that's how we attach them. Now with this particular bag, I did it as a slip stitch method by crocheting them together. But you don't have to do that. You can sew them together if you wish. But this is kind of the pattern. So we start off with our two diamonds and we place a diamond underneath it. Let's move that out of the way. And then this one will become a half, and we sew that to this edge here, to that edge there. And we do another full diamond there. Obviously it will look right when you've done it, not like it does at the moment. And this one again over this side, move it over, you have this one which is in half, and you sew along this edge to that edge. You have another full diamond, and then at the bottom you will have one that is shaped this way at the bottom, and if I zoom out you'll see there is our shape. So once it's attached and you flip it over, the ones that you have left are all of the solid ones, so they'll go on the corresponding other side, only obviously better than I've done them, but the other halves of these will still be there. And so you just attach these where you've got a full one, the other side, so then that becomes the full bag. So how do you attach them? Well, as I said, I did mine with the bag that I finished. I slip stitched them together, and I did that by starting with the top section. So I move all of the others aside. I've got my yarn that's the same yarn as the edging, and I'll get my end. Now when I did these, I did them as I say by slip stitching, and I did them so that the ridge is on the inside of the bag. So there you can see there's the ridge, and one of them I made a bit of a mistake, so you do need to keep your wits about you, and I sewed it completely the wrong way. So I had all of these were invisible, and then I had a ridge. So what I did was I sewed the ridge down, and you cannot see it. So if you do make a mistake, you don't have to undo the whole thing. You can just sew the ridge down, and all is not lost, because I thought, oh, I'm going to have to undo the whole thing, but it worked. So just thought I'd pass that one on to you. So now that you don't have to do that, you don't have to do it together with the slip stitch as I did. You can always, if you want to, use a darning needle and just whip stitch, and that's just simple going through the two loops of our end and the corresponding one, and just over sewing or whip stitching all the way down. And you can do that and just make sure you secure the ends whenever you've got an end, and that you don't make it look like you've gone round a corner. You make sure that it looks like you've ended off and then started again, and it's a nice crisp join, because otherwise it does look a bit odd. Now on mine I do need, just knocking my camera over as I reached over, I do need to tidy up some of my joins which are here. I want them to be completely closed, and I haven't got around to doing that yet, and I also haven't got around to, well, I haven't decided on whether I want to line it. So yes, you can do it that way. You can just whip stitch it like that. So remember, it's this way round, alternatively, you can work on the reverse side and you can sew them together with an invisible join, and you do that by whip stitching exactly the same, but instead of going through 2 loops, you go through this back loop only on these. You know, when you look at it, you can see the V. You just go through the back one of each side and you whip stitch all the way down, and when you turn it over, you'll get kind of like a double line of this side here and this side here. It will just look like that, like you've got 2 lines, but it will be an invisible join. So it's completely up to you, but as it's a bag, I recommend if you're going to sew it, then you do it on the right side like this and you whip stitch going through both of those loops, because it's sturdier than going through just one half of maybe that back part there, that back loop and that back loop. It would be sturdier to do it through all. But I'm going to show you how I have joined mine. So I worked on the reverse side. So I'm going to remember, this is our 2 peaks here and this is our one beneath it. So I remove that one for now, turn them both over and get my crochet hook that I've been using and my yarn, and I leave a nice long tail because you do need to sort of tidy up the joins and you want to make sure that they are completely secure. So I go through the middle of my corner on both sides. Now this is both the reverse side, and I pull through a loop, leaving that nice long tail, and then I go through the next stitch, move that tail out of the way so it doesn't confuse, and go through the next stitch. So I've gone through 2 loops, that's my loop that's on the hook. I've gone through 2 loops of each. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. I've gone through the 2 loops of that edge where you can see the V and that side, and I just yarn over and pull through the loop that's on the hook. So I'll zoom out because that might stop you from seeing it. So yeah, just go through the next one, into the next one, through both that, through that square and that square, going through both, yarn over and pull through the loop that's on your hook. Obviously when you're doing it, you'll be easier for you. I'm just doing it in a bit of a strange way because I'm having to show you. But again, go through all of those loops and slip stitch through all of the loops and slip stitch. Don't pull it too tight. It's just a good, not tight but not loose, if you know what I mean, just so it's a nice steady kind of join. You don't really want it to be puckered and you don't want it loose. So you just go through each one. Having trouble getting through that one. Oh no, it's gone through. And so I'm going to show you, if I pull it open, get rid of that, you'll see there is the ridge. You see the ridge on this side. If I turn it over, once it's open, it's because it's puckering, because it's but once you've got it all sewn together, then this is what you're going to see, and I think it looks neater. So, but by all means, if you want to sew it together, the only problem I've ever had, sometimes when I sew and I have things come apart, but at least it would be easier to repair. You could just over sew it again. But that's how I joined it. You just got to make sure that you do the corresponding part of the square, and every so often, just, you know, once you've sewn one together, just kind of do a retake. Make sure you keep your pattern together so that you've got, get out. So we're working like this, and the next one would be, I don't know what's going on here. Why'd that turn? I've got a bit of a strange thing happening with my gimbal. So yeah, I've kind of lost my, there we are. We're here, and this one would be like here, so that you've got your peaks and you've got your one beneath it. So just keep them together. That's obviously the wrong side up. So yeah, you'll be keeping them like this. And then you just make sure that you're going to do the next one, which will be, I'll show you on the finished one. It's so much easier than trying to piece them together. So you've got your, lift it up. When you're doing it, you've got, if I unzoomed, that doesn't help, does it? So that you've got your 2 peaks, which is where your strap will go, and then you've got your one beneath it, your full one here and full one here, and your half here, your half here, and your half at the bottom. And then as you flip it over, you will have, these will be flapping out, these ones, and you'll just sew these 5 and incorporate your corners either side and at the bottom. And then once you've got the structure, I will show you again in the next part how to, hang on, let's go this way. It's because that one's there, it doesn't look right. There we go. I will show you again in the next video how we go and do this side along here and the straps, because we do them all in one piece. But unfortunately, as I said to you before, I may not have enough of this colour. I wasn't able to get another ball, so I'm going to possibly do my straps in this. I'll try tomorrow. If I can't get that extra ball, I'll be doing it in this, but it'll still match because it's both colours in the, look nice, I think. So I'm going to tidy up on my one that I've already done. I'm going to tidy up my corners here. Some of them are okay, like this one, it's perfect, but this one looks like it needs a little tidy up. And then I will show you how we do our sides and our strap, and then it will be finished. But so there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Hope it's been clear. It is difficult because it's all pieces, and it will, let me just put this down, it will come together. It's because, you know, it is just squares that you're going to have to join, but you just do them in diamonds. So you get 2 at the top, a full one underneath, two sides exactly the same either side, 2 full diamonds, and then a half attaching. And as long as you remember what side you're at, whether you're on the reverse side, but as I say, it's all is not lost. If you do make a mistake, you can easily sew down, because I cannot even find the one that was the mistake, which I sewed down. I cannot even find it. It just looks exactly the same. So don't worry if you do make a mistake. It is often easier to sew it if you're unsure, but I just think it's sturdier. It's a little bit more secure if you slip stitch it together. So thank you very much for watching. I'll leave you to get on with that part of it then, and I will see you again in part 3 of this, and we will finish it off. So thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be informed when part 3 comes out. So thanks very much for watching. Bye bye for now, everyone.